Nobody.
But I recorded that, so
Absolutely nobody.
that's good.
Cool, man.
I'm just gonna
pay
delete.
attention.
I'm gonna delete the sound file from the theme from the credits and just stick that in instead.
We're going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Strike Force here, guys. Nobody? Okay. Moving on.
Hello and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Eric, now that your mouth is full, what happened last night?
I swallowed it quickly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We finished our conversation with Cardane, and because Eric's a bad player and didn't remember what spells he had access to, allowed Demise to make a deal to cast Remove Curse.
She's still here.
Yeah,
She's still here.
Demise is still
It's
with
true.
us. In exchange for a bunch of Cardane's cool stuff. And Cardane remembered some things that had clearly been removed or just blocked off about a connection he had with a member of the resistance against Colseer. And so he was shaken somewhat and left. And then the pyramid, the ziggurat, began to collapse, and we left and then hopped in the airship and are headed back to Stormreach. And that's
Indeed.
where we left off.
Tis.
A couple of hours of awkward air travel sees you back to Stormreach. Dane returns the stolen airship to its hidden docking bay in the cliffs overlooking the sea. And you all disembark. Demise, once you get back into the edge of the city, says, well, this was interesting, but I'll be going.
All right.
Best of luck.
Okay.
Be seeing you.
Do call anytime.
No.
And she turns and walks away.
Sorry about that, everyone. I really beefed that by getting her involved. So that's on me.
Oh, not your fault. I thought I killed her better than this.
Yeah.
So I'll kill better going forward.
She is quite powerful.
I don't know what
terms
more
of,
you could have
like,
done in that moment. So
ability, and we now successfully did something with her. Surely that's not all bad, right? That's what I'm learning is sometimes you work with people you don't like, and it's okay.
yeah, I mean, just her involvement involved me. Yeah. You're right. Dane, how are you feeling about everything that's happened? Seemed like the Kenneth folk got what was we're not a factor in the end.
Well, I got what I was looking for. I would have liked to find one of them alive to get some information. But as it is, probably Forge can make something of this.
Should have grabbed a body. I can speak with those now. I keep forgetting about that.
Well, we'd have had to find them in the first place. So, that, but no, not a loss, and they won't have access to that facility again. So,
Call it a win.
right? That's what you do when you don't get everything you wanted, but you got part of it. You call it a win.
Yeah. For sure.
That's good to know.
Head back to the house.
We gotta tell Thora.
Thora, where are you at?
I'm at the school.
Great. On our way.
That is
And
great.
Ari, like, ugh. Dane, come with.
Yeah, I'll stop in and say hello in any case.
All right.
So the four of you set off across the city again and arrive without incident at Greymalkin Academy.
Whew.
Nothing seems to have burned down in your absence.
How
That's
long were we
awesome.
gone? Was this 2 days? A day?
More like a day.
Okay. So are we getting back at a reasonable time?
Yeah, it's probably evening, but
Heard.
I believe you all left very early in the morning,
Yeah.
and it's probably getting towards sundown of the same day. So, yeah, you all arrive and make your way up to the school, where you find the various allies that you gathered to fortify the place hanging around.
Great job, everyone.
Thank everyone on the way by for helping.
A couple of Hular's sons are allowing Mo and Pip to take turns punching them as hard as they can in the gut with no apparent effect whatsoever.
Love that.
It's like he doesn't even notice. That's crazy.
So, you are certainly stopped by Solarka.
Oh.
That's why I was asking what time it was to see if he would be on watch.
She sees that you are all here and none of you appear gravely injured. Everything went all right then?
I believe so. Yeah, we did what we needed to, mostly. It might go super worse later, but it could also go a lot better. So we're kind of waiting to see what the elf does. There's a whole story. We have to talk to Thora, and then it's a good story, but it's. She probably wouldn't mind if you came into the office and heard it while we tell it to her.
Do you think?
But there's going to be a lot of weirdness with Dane being here, actually. So maybe I'll tell you in the morning for breakfast.
That sounds fine.
Perfect. Thank you, and your family for the help. I'm really glad we didn't need it, but it means a lot.
Should we stay?
You're welcome to. Always. But I don't think we're worried tonight.
All right. If you think it is all right, then we will go and let our father know that everything is okay.
Thank you again. And tell him I said thank you, please.
I will. She leans down and gives Pog a little kiss.
Pog blushes still. It's not gotten old.
And then she and her brothers troop off down
Thank you.
Down the stairs, waving.
Bye. All right. Into the house.
Inward.
Thora?
Inward
Thora?
and onward.
Yep.
All right. You head inside. And through the library, the door to Thora's office is closed.
Until we kick it in.
Knock.
Knocking. Okay, that's better.
The door opens. Thora sees you and lets the door swing open. She turns back and walks into her office. Shade, your very high perception check would note some things. Your very high perception, passive perception would note some things just off the bat about the environment. Thora's desk looks unusually clean, like just clear of stuff. There's usually all manner of, especially lately, there's generally been all manner of papers and things like that strewn across the desk. It looks oddly empty. Not like clean as in it's been cleaned exactly, just clear of stuff. The room looks slightly disheveled, as if it's been, I don't know, as if things have been moved around and then put back, or something. The room feels a little different than it usually does.
Hi, Thora.
And I can roll insight on Thora.
Sure.
I was about to ask, Ari has a high passive insight now. Would Ari pick up anything weird with Thora going on?
There is something wrong in the set of her shoulders, Ari. She seems, maybe it's just exhausted. Maybe defeated.
Okay.
I rolled a 1, but I pushed because I'm not content with Shade getting a 1 for insight. For an 11.
Boy, pushes are expensive these days.
They are.
Yes, viewers, our party leveled up again, and are now, what is our total level now?
13.
13.
The infamously famous number.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Taylor Swift's favorite.
A potent number in Eberron.
That's true.
Lots of 13s in Eberron. You're 11. Shade, you probably just read that she looks kind of tired. She walks around the desk and lowers herself into the chair and just leans back a little bit.
How do things go on your end?
I'm not... As far as I can tell, we're not in immediate danger. How did things go at the facility?
Good by all accounts. There's some Sulatar out there. They didn't make it out. The Cannith individuals seem to be neutralized. They were co-opting a existing ziggurat out in the jungle. So yeah, I mean, by all accounts, things went... they will not be producing anything at that facility. Ari would like to make an insight check just because Thora is being
Pog
very weird.
Is going to insight on her not saying anything.
Dane steps over and just sits down in one of the chairs on the other side of the room.
It's an 18 for Pog's insight. He's an empath.
That
Yeah.
is much better than
14 for-
11.
Um,
I think she's just tired, Pog.
I don't. I think she's...
Oh.
Go ahead, Philip. What does Pog think she's...
you pick up a little of what Ari's passive insight picks up. She just... The thing that's missing is drive.
Okay.
Is determination. These are things that have been perpetually a part of Thora as long as you've known her. And it just doesn't seem to be there in the person that you're talking to. You probably also pick up that Dane comes in very carefully and pretty clearly makes a conscious choice not to say anything, and has just walked over and sat down in one of the chairs very quietly.
We also encountered Cardane, that artificer that Tommel mentioned. Did not realize that any time had passed. Yeah. Fully alive, and thought that it was the time of the Dominion. But we did our best to convince him that the Dominion had fallen. It was many years later, but also something had been done to his mind to block out someone that was seemingly important to him, and demise the Emerald Claw necromancer that was with us. Cast remove curse on him to restore those memories, and he seemed shaken and less cemented with Colseer when we left him.
That sounds like it could be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah. And the ziggurat collapsed, so no more facility, even if Kenneth wanted to move in.
All right. That sounds successful. Well done.
Downside is Emerald Claw got all of Cardane's cool stuff, and it's part of the deal for Demise casting remove curse. So who knows what they have in their hands now.
Probably not anything we can do anything about.
Yep. And remind me, Philip, she went to go meet with the Stormlords? Like,
she said she was going to go find out who knew what.
Gotcha. So did you find anything actionable out in your investigation?
Pog, she reaches to one of the only things on the desk. You'd asked me to make some more inquiries around your Da. He's a man of routine. He's at the same place, same tavern every night over in Forge Light. This is the address if you want to be able to have a private conversation with him. Probably intercept him between there, or if you don't mind it being in public, probably catch him at the tavern itself.
Do you mind it being in public?
Are you very likely to assault him?
Yes.
Probably not then.
Okay.
Mostly just because he's an officer in one of the houses and he might have help near at hand. So.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We weren't here for Pog making that ask of Thor, right?
No.
That's what I thought.
Thank you. We will talk, you guys.
Okay.
Miss Miss Thora, I'm sorry. You're really good at your job of things and talkings. But Ari had asked about what you left here to go talk about, and I didn't think my dad was important with the end of our people. And thank you. Again, thank you. I thought there was bigger than him.
Right. Kenneth is pitching it as something they call the Guardian program. Amanatu's been working with them, allowing them to use facilities in the city for research and development. Obviously, they had taken construction off site, as we discovered. She reaches into her coat and slides a piece of paper over that is definitely just a brochure
Wow.
for the kind of creature that you fought in the ziggurat. So I'm not too new. Baron Lassite also knows, but took some trade concessions to decide it wasn't worth troubling himself about. So Shadra knows everything that goes on in the city. She's intrigued by the tracking technology. Sure, the Trust would put that to good use in Zalargo. And Amaran's opposition is entirely based on spiting Amanatu.
Okay, so oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll take questions.
No, Eric to Philip, as looking at the brochure,
Mm-hmm.
what's being pitched exactly in the brochure? Like, is aberrant marked people mentioned anywhere in the literature or anything?
Yeah. It's pitched as an aberrant powered containment unit.
Okay.
But it's pitched as containing aberrant marked?
As being, as having the function of containing threats from those that are aberrant marked.
Ari looks at it and kind of, is this the only copy you've got?
Yeah, I took that off of Amanatu's desk.
How public is this information?
I don't know. You've smashed up their production facility, or at least the local one, so that's something. But the point is, even if I become a Stormlord, it won't change anything. We're safe exactly as long as it works for them, and not a moment longer. So, Ari, if you want to make a go of it and take a seat on this council, you're welcome to it. I'm done.
What?
Dane, I'm sorry for the things I'd said. You were right. Can't make the world we want. Just have to face the one we've got. So, that's And she stands up.
Miss Thora, not with the intention of expecting her to stop.
School will have to be enough.
Thora,
What?
you said as long as it serves them for us to be safe.
Right.
What if there's no them?
I was thinking the same thing. We could just kill them all.
Well, yeah, our paths to the finish line are different shape, but
Oh. Okay.
Inspiration, Ari. I'm not. I'm not in the business of regime change anymore. If you've got a plan, do what seems best to you. She steps through the door and walks out of the room.
is she going to be okay? Ari says to Dane.
I don't know. Maybe. She... Last time I saw her like this was... when we worked out what Blackwheel was doing. She went down the let's kill them all path that time. And then changed her mind. I'm doing Thora's voice in Dane's tone. And then changed her mind and she's not going to just abandon this place if that's what you're worried about. She's not going to disappear, but that's Thora when she's not got hope.
It kind of felt like she had disappeared.
She would have been trying to find some way to believe anything but what she suspected. I imagine that's what she's been doing.
All right. Well, the situation is the Stormlords, in practice, have sold us down the river.
Well,
Omarin can at least take solace in the fact that
they're willing to step aside in the event that someone makes a play at you.
yeah,
They're not gonna take a hand in any of this. That's not how they work.
the branding is they are unwilling to protect the citizens of Stormreach.
They're
Actively.
unwilling to protect certain citizens of Stormreach.
Yeah.
Sure.
And right now it's us.
Right.
And tomorrow it could be them. And tomorrow it could be the next one.
Right.
Could be Warforged. Could be citizens of one of the 5 nations. Could be anybody that someone decides it's time to target, and if it's economically disadvantageous for the Stormlords to oppose it, they won't. That's the reality of the system that we live under.
That's a way to say it.
I'm not looking for truth. I'm looking to get
Right.
feet
I
with
can
it.
tell.
So, we have allies. We have groups. The best part about the gang-style governance of this city when it comes to the street level is that the average person already doesn't trust the Stormlords as far as they can throw them.
Sure.
They trust the gangs in their districts, who actually, and not the militias, not the gangs, the militias in their districts. Certain ones more so than others. Knights of Thrain, Swords of Karn, the Nine Wands, etc. If we can convince them to convince the people in their district that the Stormlords are no longer worth having around, might be able to move something. And with evidence like this, and Ari holds up the brochure, might be able to expedite it. Thoughts?
So many.
I've maybe thought about this already, and this opportunity has just kind of fallen into my lap, but here we are.
Not good thoughts.
Right. We can't let Colseer destroy the Stormlords and then pick up the pieces, right? That would be bad.
I
But
would not put it
was
past. Go ahead.
It was a thought that
I wouldn't put it past the
passed.
majority of the Stormlords to ally with Colseer to protect themselves and their interests. Why would they stand up to him?
Right.
Because they don't bow.
They do have big egos. Only outshone by Colseers. But okay. So, going around and getting gangs to see our value as living entities seems like that seems like it's going to take a lot of time.
No, I think fortunately we've already shown a lot of them our value as living entities. Now it's time to show them that the Stormlords don't care about them.
You think they're going to easily make that jump?
I think some of them will. I think Steeljack and the Iron Watch, I mean, they have more in common with us than they have with any of the Stormlords. Swords of Karn, Drago's just looking for an excuse to get power, so it may not be anything to do with the cause for him, but Drago would like to have something. The Knights of Thrain, if they know that the Stormlords are willing to watch innocent people get killed, not going to sit right with them. Nine Wands has an aberrant marked in it, so that's something. I mean,
in order of, we're really tired and need to go to bed.
I'm not
and
saying let's
wake
go right
up.
now.
No, totally agree. Right. And then in the morning, we need to wake up and do something. Where is like finding Colseer and killing him, and speaking to the different groups to not pursue the killing of aberrant marks. Like,
my thing is, if played right, not even like totally right, but just, I think this and Ari Holds the Brochure is getting the ball rolling, and hopefully it can pick up momentum without our active intervention. Like, we just have to show the people that the Stormlords like would stand aside while they were contained, and hopefully that gets the conversation going without us having to be a part of every single conversation after, and we can focus on the Colseer problem.
and you're confident that this brochure that we would be showing them wouldn't also be like marketing against us?
I mean, it's not going to do any harm because the people that distrust us and want to see us dead already have that belief. I don't think like somebody's going to see this brochure and go, someone wants them dead. Interesting. Let me think about this.
Oh no, I meant like
They want to buy one.
Where do I purchase one? Right.
I don't think they have the
Right.
kind of, there's not a price tag in the brochure, but I imagine that it's a pretty,
If you have to
have
ask the
connections to afford
price.
it. You can't afford it.
Okay. That's good to know. I didn't know that rule.
I know before I say it what the answer is going to be, but I feel like we have to say it, even though I know that, because I'm sure Shade and I are thinking it. We're definitely not just going to go kill them all, right? Like
The Stormlords?
That's
yeah,
also a thought that
because
that
I'm
popped up in.
As
I'm back to just, it's got to be said is all.
I don't want to murder them. So no.
I
And
don't
this-
love not
this would
murdering
be
them.
Murder and not self-defense. Like what?
It wouldn't hold up in a
That
court of law, I
line
can tell
is
you that
sometimes
much.
Do we even have one of those
fuzzy.
Courts?
that we would worry about? The last time we went to court, it was with all the people that that I'm saying we could kill. Those were the people that were the court last time.
Yeah, and they definitely wouldn't hold up the self-defense charge. You know. Let's. I mean, Dane, you're sitting there listening to all this. Thoughts?
I have always felt that the root of the problem is in the houses, and not in the fact that governments are self-interested. That said, you want to topple these pirates, I suppose I don't necessarily object. There's a question no one's asked yet. That's one of the reasons that I don't go in for politics. What's going to step in when you make a vacuum?
I mean, my thought. Ari pulls out his binder.
Trapper keeper for justice.
Ari walks
a
over and just
projection
pulls
stone.
pulls down a retractable pegboard.
It's got
Little
a projection stone.
Metal rod, collapsible. So, I mean, I think a council-based form of governance is not a bad one. Just have a representative from each of these groups that actually looks after and cares for the districts of the city.
We don't have pirates anymore in this pirate city. They're all politicians now.
Right. So,
Let the swords
What's
of
gonna
Karn
be-
not.
what's going to be different about these new ones?
This is a good question.
They're they're members of organizations that are actually representative of the people of the city. It's not a hereditary system. I know the Stormlords don't say it's necessarily hereditary, but like it won't be entrenched seats of power that are only interested in retaining their power. And sure, after
Drago Thul's going to pass his seat to just anyone,
I mean,
assuming he doesn't try to use this as a launching board to make himself the new rightful king of Galifar.
listen, bridges will need to be crossed when we arrive at them, but
Well, let me tell you something about the bridges before you decide to go look for them. And I'm not going to try and stop you from doing this because I'm not Zora. I'm a gang leader. I have a gang. Sometimes we carry out attacks that I would call resistance and others would call terrorism. Occasionally, we kill people. And we do it based on principle. Don't kill people who aren't, by my eyes, a threat to aberrants. The reason I've never tried to become a politician is because as a gang leader, I have the luxury of principles. And I think as a politician that I wouldn't. So, maybe you become a politician and you keep your principles. Maybe even someone like Drago Thul becomes a politician and maintains his principles, although his principles seem mostly to be Drago Thul king. But all these other gang leaders who are so representative of their districts and the people of Stormreach, are they going to stay representative of their districts and the people of Stormreach once you hand them power? I don't know the answer to that, but that's the question that keeps me from pursuing a political solution to this problem.
I don't know the answer to your question either, but I do know the answer to the question of, does the current system protect its people?
My solution to that is different from what you're proposing.
I know.
Which is fine. We can have different ideas of it, on it. But
No.
I need to take this I have to take this to Forge.
All right. Say hi to them
See if
for
we
us.
can work on my idea on how to solve this problem.
All right.
Good luck.
You too, Dane.
Thanks for your help, Dane.
Yeah, thanks for your help.
Right.
And by the way, I don't know what. Welcome back whenever. Like,
All right.
Also, if
Dane
you have
steps out of the
suggestions on
office.
how to help
On
Miss
how.
Thora, let us know.
He stops in the doorway. Hmm. last time she and I hit this point? My answer was, let's take down the houses, one brick at a time. She didn't like that anymore after a while, and decided to try this. And the school made her hopeful again, and so she thought maybe we make this place different. Maybe you still think you can do that, and I would very much like to hope that you can be right. But I'm not young anymore, and as I see it is, well, what she said. Can't make the world you want. You just gotta live in the one you got. As far as I can tell, the best way I can improve the one I've got to live in is by making a few other people stop doing that. So, take this back to Forge, see if we can't train this thing to hunt different marks.
Do we have a way to contact you, Dane, other than through Thora?
Can't do sending, eh?
No, I can't. No.
Opens a pouch on his belt. I'll get Forge to make me another one when I get back. He sets a sending stone, a traditional once-a-day sending stone, on the desk. This calls her old manor in Sharn.
Noted. Thanks. Again.
And he leaves.
That can't be the solution, right? Like, we've worked really hard. I have worked really hard to not just kill anybody I don't like. And that's a good thing, right? That's
100% good.
Maybe.
Yes. Well,
right,
okay.
Pog. No, that's what I'm thinking too. Is that's not an easy thing, and I thought that was a good thing. But it feels like maybe just killing people we don't like is okay if it gets rid of the people we don't. I mean, because they're bad, not
But
because they just said
You should probably
one
not say it, people you don't like, because I don't want to kill Zot. I do wish he would sell food somewhere else, but I don't want to kill him.
And I don't like a lot of people, but
Zot didn't make robots
not killed.
to chase us and kill us. I don't think.
Right.
Does a lot of business.
What's he wrapping those meats in?
Oh my god. Pog charges out of the room. Axe on fire.
But also, I'm not likable, and I don't want someone to be okay killing me. Like, I think it's okay that I'm here, and I don't want people to use the same logic to then kill me.
Yeah.
But they are.
Yes.
So
Right.
it doesn't matter what you want, because they are.
But we should not become the monsters that we seek to stop. Like we
Why not
would
be
just
better
continue-
afterwards?
Because it will prove them right. if they want to kill us because we think that they mean them harm and that we will do harm to people, and so then we start killing people and doing people harm, then that's just going to reinforce the belief that we are dangerous. And so then more people will seek to stop us and contain us and kill us because we will be doing what people say we will do.
Or maybe they'll leave us alone at the end of it.
I have used almost that exact same argument, Ari. But sometimes we kill people and then people thank us for it because we did a good thing and protected them.
Correct. I'm not speaking about if House Thorani assassins were to jump through that window right now and we kill them. No tears shed. No problem at all.
Right.
100%
All agreed.
okay.
That killing
It's
is
really
okay.
weird that you say that now.
But you wouldn't kill the people that ordered them to.
I wouldn't kill.
Because we're not in maybes anymore, Ari. You
I wouldn't-
were taken, and that would have ended you. And now we have that, pointing at the brochure, and we know that they're not pretending it's something else. It is to kill us. And it is for sale, and they are buying, and they are helping. Thunders down on Thor's desk.
Yeah, and guess what, Pog? We're not going to go to Sharn to kill Merrick's Kenneth and every single person that lies along the path to get to him to wipe out the entirety of that branch of House Kenneth to neutralize the whole threat.
Maybe we leave that part to Dane.
Dane can't do that. I'm sorry, like, he can't. If we start picking off marked members of houses here in Stormreach, they're going to send more, and they're going to send them better armed, and they're going to kill us, and they're going to kill the people at the school, and they're going to kill the kids.
So
that
then
is
what
the
are we
reality.
here for? We cut the
Protect
roots
the
and
kids.
fly away.
We came here to make Stormreach a safe place for people like us.
And it doesn't want us.
The city wants us. They, and Ari points at the brochure, don't. The people, when we walk down the street, people don't attack us. People don't even point and stare anymore. We belong in this city, whether or not they like it. That's what I'm talking about, is getting the people that we have helped, the people that have thanked us for killing people that mean them harm, to be the ones that will protect us in turn.
They
That's
want
what I've
us here
always
for
been
now. The people that we just did things for to belong with them are the ones wanting us dead.
Do you think Mrs. B wants us dead?
I'm talking about the houses.
I'm not. Mrs.
I-
B was terrified of us and thought that we were monsters when she first met us. Does she want us dead?
No, but Mrs. B has a
Okay.
better brain than most of the people we meet. Is this about who can convince normal people first? And wouldn't Mrs. B have come to us if it wasn't for Donabella? If she didn't have one of us broken ones, would she have even cared? Would she have listened? Because if the people running this city told her what to think, then maybe she'd have listened. If it didn't affect her.
That's what I'm trying to say, Pog, is us helping people affects them. Us being a part of people's lives affects them. I would be willing to bet all of the money in my coin purse that before we came to the city and made ourselves a part of his life, Hular probably didn't have the best opinion of aberrant marked people. Carl probably had some preconceived notions about aberrant marked people. Every person in the city probably thought something that wasn't kind about our people, and they don't anymore. Well, It's not because we're marked, but those are personality defects. We have been in this city for a long enough time to have a positive impact on the actual people. And there are a lot of people that will care when they see this information. Not only because it affects us, but because of what it implies about the Stormlords. I agree with you. The city's not safe for us when it comes to the people that lead the city. We thought we could change that. I was wrong on that front. I'll own up to that. I don't think I'm wrong about this one. But there's 3 of us. Do you all think when you first saw the brochure, did you all want to use violence to deal with the solution?
Yes.
Usually.
Who did you want to go after?
In order, the names that Miss Thora listed.
So, Amanatu, Last Sight, Selshadra. Here's the issue with that.
I wanted to go after Selshadra.
No, I don't.
I respected her, and she's okay with them killing us. Again.
Also, the second we move on any of them, Selshadra will know. So if we're going to go after him, Selshadra needs to be the first. And then Amanatu, because he'll be quick to lock down with his alliance with Kundarak. And then Last Sight last. Would be the order that I would go after him in.
I'm going to go to bed. Ari, thank you for listening. And I'm very serious. Thank you for listening. I don't think you're wrong. I just hate it. I hate it. And I just needed to be able to say it.
Yep.
And so we're clear, I don't think you're talking me out of it. I just needed how much I hate it to be out there. Because
I hear you.
Miss Thora is tired. And I'm tired. And I don't get tired from fighting or sweating or bleeding. I just get tired of running. I'll see y'all in the morning. And Pog leaves the room.
Good night. Going to bed sounds good.
Good night, Shade.
Pog says the things that I first think and want to do. But you say the things that I wish I thought first instead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Shade. Ari just looks around Thor's office, grabs a stack of empty parchment that he can find, and goes up to his room.
Can I retcon that Pog did grab the folder that Thora left for him off the desk? because he thumbs through it as he sits at the Church of the Silver Flame, reading through what was left for him by Thora. And he summons Minnie to sit next to him. Minnie does not. They don't sit, just standing. Does good always take this long?
Good is always. Slow. Good is endurance. Good is a constant endurance struggle.
I'm tired, and not in my body. I'm tired as a person.
Yes.
And there's a really quick way to fix that.
There is always the shadow, and there is always the flame. And it is always possible to turn from one to the other. It is always possible to choose to hear the other voice. The voice in the shadows. That says, do this little bit of evil, and greater good will come. Voice in the flame says, just keep fighting, even from your knees.
Does it make you bad if you hear the shadow? My bad?
No. Everyone hears the shadow. Those who don't believe in the shadow hear the shadow.
Thank you. I'll just sit for a little in silence before going home and going to bed.
And as you all make your way to some form of rest, I think that is where we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so in the comments down below. You can also find links down there to our various social media, including the Geek Pantheon Discord, the Geek Pantheon YouTube channel, Colin's Twitch, where he's sorry BTR, the O is a 0, along with our merch store and various other places where you can get in touch with us or to support the show. New episodes of Khyber Shards drop on Mondays. New Khyber Shards answers on Friday, and hopefully we're getting back into that rhythm after a busy spring, and we appreciate patience as we've missed a bunch of weeks. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.